What's up, YouTube? It's your host, Caesar Arias, with Real Talk, No Smoke. And we have our special guest today, Miss Lavasta from Lawrence High.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
And we have
Isaias,
Maya.
And today we'll be talking about vaping inside of school environments. What's our first question?
What are the most common signs you notice when a student is vaping at school?
I would have to say that the most common sign that I see in students is either anxiety or, well, there are a couple. I want to start with anxiety. Most of the time, students start smoking because they think it's going to reduce their anxiety, but then it turns out that it gives them more anxiety. Then another symptom, which is one of the worst, is depression. Habitual smokers always exhibit some depression. And I want to say that one of the ones that affects the work is that they are not engaged, or you see them be a little bit slow to answer. It makes them look foolish. You could sometimes, depending on what product it is, you could see that their eyes are sunken in and their demeanor is just different. So it's a drag.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I'm not a teacher, like I see it when I'm in class, or with friends. Like I see that before they even start smoking, like they were depressed or feeling anxiety, or just not feeling great because of things at home or things in school that were happening.
Yeah, and for me, I would always see, because I was always like with teachers and talking with them, and I would see through over the periods of time kids isolating themselves, or they would always try to be out in the hallways, because they wouldn't get caught by a teacher in class trying to do whatever it is that they do.
Yeah.
I think you brought up a good point. I bet you remember sometimes in school when you see a lot of the kids, when they start getting hooked on it, they actually drive up their anxiety to the point that they can't even be in class because they gotta go chase that feeling again. So it becomes confusing because they actually start doing it for one symptom, and then they actually manifest as a symptom, and then they have to go take care of it the whole day.
Yeah, it becomes addicting.
You could see signs they can't live without it, or you can see that they're struggling to even stay focused.
Yes.
And it's once you realize they're gonna go do what they have to do just in order to get pay attention to their work and stuff like that, and it's not really okay.
I agree with everything that was said.
That's crazy.
But yeah, why do you guys think vaping is very normalized in school environments? For example, people tend to smoke a lot in the bathroom or maybe outside of school. Why do you guys think it's very normalized?
I think it's normalized because they're already used to doing it, so it becomes an everyday lifestyle routine for them. Not even just a once a day thing. It's a constant repeating thing that happens throughout the day. So that's why it becomes part of their life.
Yeah, and I would say the media and just friendships and all have a big influence on that, because you would see a video and then that video of someone else doing something that you be doing not on school, so you're gonna want to it's gonna want to entice you to do that exact same thing while you're there. So it's just I feel that's just more of it's not necessarily allowed,
yeah,
but it's they're getting enticed to.
Yeah, a lot of outside factors that really influence what people's behaviors really.
Yeah, but I think one of the biggest factors around here is they want to run away from some type of a pain or a problem. And it starts at home. I think even though it can be an influence, that influence then leads to self-soothing, and so it just perpetuates from there. It just gets worse.
I agree.
It does happen.
So that was a good segue as to why people get influenced. Do you want to continue talking about what are some of those problems that teen face? Because I want adults to kind of
why is it
know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I'm so, first of all, I'm so grateful to be invited on this podcast to talk about that, because I don't want to sit here and be like a hypocrite as an adult. I want adults to understand that it's our fault that most kids start vaping, whether intentionally or not, right? Because not every adult wants to have kids. So I'll put that out there. Not every adult wants to have kids, right? But then you think about, okay, yeah, you don't want to have kids, but the lifestyle that you live directly has an impact on kids in general, even if you don't want to have kids. So like, because I don't want to get pushback from adults that say, well, I didn't want to have kids, so I shouldn't feel responsible if I smoke or anything like that. Yeah, I get that, but at what point in society are we going to treat youth as a special gem that you have to protect and cultivate in order for it to grow safely, right? I just think that sometimes we think that we got to talk to kids and kids are just there, do as I say only. It's not that way. I think we have to all be responsible for the behaviors that young kids express because of the behaviors that we show them, right? So like, let's go back to that point of if a guy or if a woman smokes outside and you're just driving by and your kid is seeing that, they can say, I'm not responsible because I don't have children of my own, so I don't have to worry about that. But as a society, we are responsible because even though I might not do it at home, my kid that's driving in the car with me just saw you do it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I like to think of iron sharpens iron. And like, if one thing affects someone, like it's gonna affect everyone, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And if the adults or like anybody, like the youth as well, if they're not supporting us or like supporting each other, then how are we gonna get better as a community?
Yeah.
That is true, because that's why like parents, they're supposed to be role models to their kids in order for them to like not do what's wrong. Because how are you gonna get mad at your kids for like vaping and stuff like that when they're influenced by you, seeing you doing it, seeing other people that you hang out with doing it, and it's like, what are you gonna expect from them? You can't like expect them not to like want to do it too.
So we threw out a couple of terms here, and Maya, I could test her with that because we were in class together. Like I was her teacher, and we learned about social emotional, right? So all these things that you're throwing out there is, what do you think is really going on? Why we've said a couple of things already, like. What do you think is actually going on that people want to do that? What are they trying to deal with?
Like what they're trying to overcome, or like you said, I think they're really trying to overcome things at home or like things in school. They're just like problems in general. Like they're trying to
overcome their emotions.
Yeah, just trying to find something.
Sorry
no,
to like
you good.
like a brother. Not to like overcome them. Because necessarily they're not overcoming anything if they keep on doing the same thing that's damaging them. So I feel like it's all a mask. Like everyone puts on a persona that they want to like everyone to see. Like I'm not gonna want you to know I do that, so I'm gonna like try to hide like my feelings and how I really feel, because if I give you that like sense like, oh, I'm sad, or oh, I need this, or I need to do this to do that, like you're gonna want to think that like I do something like I do something.
That's true.
And that's why I want to bring it back to the whole point about the adults. Like if the adults never got help dealing with their emotions, what do you think they're gonna pass down?
The same trauma.
Same thing, same trauma. So I think that's why we got to be careful. I think that's why all of us have to be responsible. And I want to sit here and have a vulnerable conversation as an adult, because I think that is an easy way of solving that. And that's by being vulnerable. Hey, I have all these feelings, all these responsibilities. I'm trying to survive this environment. And that's the reason why maybe I might pick up a vape, or I might pick up a blunt, or I might drink alcohol so that I can survive this adulthood, right? And I'm sorry if that's the behaviors that I'm showing you on how to deal with things, even though I don't intentionally want you to deal with things that way, because you're my kid and I want to protect you. But these are the things that I'm subconsciously like role modeling to you. So I think more adults need to be apologetic to y'all.
Yeah, I agree. So what type of resources or like support programs do you think can really help people who are struggling with that?
I think like obviously like a little circle intervention thing, like you know, like especially like at school, teachers they can like bring their students in like each class, you know, and they can really talk about like what they're going through. Like a lot of students, they're not gonna want to like talk about it, but it's good to like let them know that you will be there for them. You'll help them, provide them what any like emotional support that they'll need, and like that would have them more open up to what they're going through and why they smoke. And then teachers could talk about like the dangerous habits and the risk of it.
Yeah, like what this all is, like a youth led like issue, like someone with experience and like their age, or maybe someone slighter than their age, to give them like background info on like certain things that will and what or could possibly happen if they were continuing to do such a thing.
I definitely agree with both of y'all, but at the same time, like if they're not opening up to the problems that they're like going through right now, like how would they try to open up to the problem of vaping? You know what I mean?
I mean, like that's why there's like people like us. You see how we're youth, we're like the same age as some people in high school and stuff. We can literally come in and like talk to them, and they can see how there's other people there around their age group. They can actually help them out, and they can know that they're not alone in this, and that a lot of people struggle with it. That's it.
And I think as adults, we need to be less judgmental and remember that we were young as well, and that it takes time to learn certain skills that we don't have to become better, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that, most definitely, because in this neighborhood, like where we live, like I see a lot of adults, or like, just adults in general, judge kids or the youth based off their actions of vaping, like without knowing what's going on at home. Like, you know what I mean? Like whether they're struggling or not, or like if it's something like they can't really overcome, or like you said, just stop. You know what I mean?
I think you bring up a valid point. I think it's really important for us to all work together, I guess, at the end.
Well, that seems like a good conversation we just had, guys.
I appreciate all the responses. It was a good talk, and this is Real Talk No Smoke. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes.